off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 106.5, the station that leaves no listener behind, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, T Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Well, I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kardashian talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have topics and guests and series and all kinds of good stuff for the past, let's see. I didn't finish the banner. It's been one of those mornings. Let's see. How many consecutive weeks are we at now? We are at 698 consecutive weeks on the air, on camera. And boy, that's a lot of numbers for those of you who are calculating. That's over 13 years. I think we're at 13 and a half years. And I'm grateful for that for sure. And I'm also grateful that it is Monday. Yes, it is Mental Health Matters Mondays. And that is the day where we focus on mental health, and not the kind of, I'm not a psychiatrist by choice, not a psychologist clinical by choice. I'm not here to prescribe medication. I'm not here to give you, official diagnosis, certainly, or advice. Sirens always mean I'm telling the truth. Instead, I am here to encourage you to use your own most powerful muscle, which is choice, right? Your own ability to be the boss of you, and certainly take some responsibility of things that you can change when it comes to mental health if you want to have better mental health. And so that is what I do on Mondays. So I'm glad that you're here. I do believe it's Monday. I was looking at the wrong calendar this morning. I'm already behind the gun, but it's all good. And I'm glad that I'm here. We're going to start off with, as usual, my gratitude sandwich, which is taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. It is top of the bun, things that you're grateful for. Bottom of the bun, things that you're grateful for inside of yourself. So top of the bun is outside of yourself. So things, if you just take a minute, take a breath through the nose and release all the stories and the drama, and look around you. And can you see anything that you're grateful for? So this is a practice. This is a good life habit. That's a hashtag Blissipline, something that you work on. It doesn't come natural. It's not a light switch. You have to practice it. So I encourage you every weekday morning on my show to look around, start your day, not with your phone, MS, meaningless scrolling, but instead to look around you. So I'm going to look around me right now. And the first thing I see is a poster of a book signing that I did at Barnes & Noble. And I'm super grateful for that several, actually many fabulous Barnes and Nobles that I got to do book signing, book reading at, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful that today, I'm going to combine this with my Asian Oprah giveaway, I get to give you an audiobook copy of this national and #1 Amazon best-selling book. I'm grateful that I got to travel and be on my Happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years, to bring that book and to continue to talk about hope and happiness, which is my brand. Happy 88 mission means 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So I am grateful that I have been able to do that. I am grateful that I have an amazing, beautiful, comfortable, yummy bed. I love getting in my bed and just like feeling the 800 thread count sheets and just the perfect softness, hardness on my mattress. And I'm grateful that I have a bed to sleep in. Not everybody does that. I'm grateful that I have homemade spaghetti sauce in my fridge. My dad's ancient Chinese secret spaghetti sauce. I'm grateful that I had an amazing weekend. I got to do 2 of my favorite things, mahjong and karaoke. So that was thanks to East Never Loses, a new group that I found from the internet. One of my blood clot silver linings. I get to do that now that I'm not traveling everywhere on tour. I am grateful for beautiful friends like Bryant and Darla, who are getting married, and I can actually talk about it now because I was supposed to keep a secret. He was proposing to her, and I knew. And every time I talked to her, it was a challenge to keep my mouth shut and not to spill the surprise to her. I am grateful finally for. I'm grateful for so many people who care about me. I think that, when bad things happen, it is not easy for me to reach out and ask for help or ask for support. And I've, made a practice out of obviously being someone who is a teacher or a coach, and sometimes that lends itself to I don't want to ask for help or admit that I'm in pain or that things aren't going as well or as planned. And so I'm grateful that when I do share that and show some vulnerability, there are a lot of people that come and are there to help me fall back into them, which is a good segue to go to the bottom of the bun. Bottom of the bun is things not outside of ourselves that we're grateful for, but inside of ourselves. What do we like about ourselves? What do we appreciate? And this is such an important exercise and concept and foundation for mental health, because if you cannot appreciate yourself, if you cannot do that weightlifting work to like yourself, it's going to be really easy to look for love in all the wrong places, get your antenna out, looking for approval, looking for likes literally on social media. And it's not a very stable way to live if you're constantly judging yourself based on other people's reactions and or being your worst critic. You're hard on yourself, and you're harder on yourself than you are on others. And that used to be a, kind of like a badge of honor. But what I know, and what certainly the field of psychology knows, that self-approval, self-care, self-love is tantamount to your ability to feel worthy. And self-worth is certainly something that is tied to happiness, 100% correlated. So that's why we do the bottom of the bun. So I am appreciative of my ability to show that I don't have it all together, that when bad things happen, I can be vulnerable and cry and not apologize for crying. Tears are the disinfectant that keep your heart soft. And I can say that to other people to encourage them to cry. And I can also say it to myself to allow myself to feel sad, to feel some loss, certainly right now. And it's really, I went to the hematologist last week. And so it's particularly, it's particularly close to my heart right now. And it's really interesting how important it is to allow yourself to really feel the feelings that come when bad things happen. I think that sometimes in an effort to be helpful, there's this, balance is my keyword in all that I do. Being too quick to move off something that doesn't feel good is not helpful, because then you haven't processed it through. And then marinating in it is also not helpful, and not feeling it all the way through. So finding that balance is a quality, it's a skill, it's an ability, it's a practice. And so that's I am appreciative of my understanding that, of my living it, and to also understand, I appreciate my ability to understand that no one really, as well-meaning, sometimes more mean than well, can understand exactly what I'm going through, and it's okay. A lot of unhappiness comes when we try to get people to understand exactly where we're coming from, and nobody can. So that's why it's so important for me to be okay and allow myself the feeling and the experience exactly as I am experiencing it. So there's really no point in spending hours and hours formulating a text or an email or a speech to get someone to really understand where you're coming from. They want to try, but they never will, because they're not you. And this is a real skill to develop, and I appreciate that I'm continuing to develop that one. All right. I appreciate my ability to know when to hold and when to fold related to that. Arguments and disagreements are part of life, but again, there's some balance. When to hold, when to fold. As much as possible, I want to feel good. That is the most important thing for me on a day-to-day basis, on a moment-to-moment, hour-to-hour. And why is that? Because when I feel good is when I am like Thor and can attract the desires that I have for everything that I want in life to come to me. When I'm in a place of angst, anxiety, fear, worry, judgment, lack, and limitation, I'm not Thor. I have my hands down. I cannot attract that. So that's why it's so important to balance out communication, and having a good relationship with people certainly is important to have people understand where you're coming from. That's intent and impact, which your intent is to be understood. So your impact is to ask, am I being understood? Am I saying this in a way that people can understand it? At the same time, balancing that out with what I just said before that, which is not everybody can understand fully where you're coming from, and they never will, because they're a different person. So finding that balance again is tantamount for having happiness 88% of the time. And one more thing that I appreciate about myself, I appreciate my ability to pick out really cool articles of clothing when I'm shopping and to look like $1,000,000 without spending $1,000,000. That's my shopping motto, and I appreciate my ability to do that. All right, and that is it for breakfast. Those of you who can tune in every single morning at 9. I am here. We have breakfast every morning and we do this good life exercise. So hopefully you're doing it. Please don't do it while you're driving and write in the chat. But you certainly can take a breath and say it out loud to either the person that's sitting and driving in with you, or to yourself, or text it to yourself, or text it to someone. Those things that you're grateful for, top of the button, and those things that you appreciate you do before you go to bed tonight. All right. And that's it for breakfast with Dr. Marissa on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on Monday morning. All right. And what is it today? It is Mental Health Matters Monday. What is the topic for the day? It says everything is awesome. The topic today is mind games. What mind games are you playing? Not with others necessarily, but with yourself. Now, why are we talking about this? Because mind games are evidence of how powerful your mind is. I have been on this concentrated, focused part of my Happy 88 mission, looking at something called personal mastery. Now, personal mastery is different than professional mastery. And it's not a topic we don't go to school. There's not a course called personal mastery. There's a lot of focus on professional mastery. You go to school, you learn a content specific 10,000 hours. You learn to be good at something, right? So you can make money. And professional mastery is considered something that you are a master at, right? You want to be good at something so you can command money for that. And that is your goal in life, is to be really good at that. And here's the interesting thing. All that focus, the school, home, teachers, coaches, everyone is focused on being the best that you can be on the outside, right? What is your skill? What is your contribution? And that is right up here. And that's what we talk about, we focus about, and we don't focus or talk about until, as of late, the focus on mental health, thanks to my honorable moniker, Oprah. She, I believe, and I credit her with bringing this whole conversation to mainstream media, mainstream topics, mainstream, before Red Table Talk, or, it's okay now to talk about mental health, but wasn't before. And when we talk about mental health, we're talking about personal mastery, in my mind. And that's something that a drug is not necessarily going to help you with. It may mask feelings of unworthiness or low self-esteem, but I do believe there is a step. I'm not knocking drugs. I am saying, however, that before you reach for something outside of yourself, that there is some work to be done that everybody can do on their own, right? Or with a therapist or with a best friend that looks at who's the boss of you. So personal mastery looks at those voices in your head that tell you that you're not enough, that tell you that you're going to fail, right? Fear of failure, fear of success, self-sabotage, perfectionism, all of those I have wrapped under the umbrella of personal mastery. And the lesson that high profile names like Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade and Robin Williams, and there's many, many, many more. I use those because they are, their lives in our mind, right? They had professional mastery. So why weren't they happy? Right? Why wasn't the fame and the money and the status, why wasn't that enough? And I believe, it's my BS, my belief system, that personal mastery is more important than professional mastery, because they showed that. They were unfortunate and sad examples of, you can have all the professional mastery you have worked so hard for in your entire life. And yet, if you still have those voices that hate yourself, or you're your own worst enemy, or you self-sabotage, or you still don't think you're enough no matter what you've accomplished, or you have 99 compliments and one criticism, and you focus on that criticism, that is symptomatic of low personal mastery. And I don't say that in judgment, but I say that with so much care, is that we have to get a handle on this. If we don't get a handle on this, no matter what you accomplish, it's not going to be good enough. You're not going to be happy enough, right? I'll be happy when. Well, when is when? When can be now if you have personal mastery. So this is a course that I'm creating right now. It's going to be available very soon, but you're tuned here, and I talk about this every Monday. So I probably just need to go back to the whole series and put the course together that way. But I'm so glad that you're here to really look at and talk about with me this very, very important topic. So we need to take a quick break for news, weather, traffic, and we'll be back with more on Monday, Mental Health Matters Mondays, here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. Don't go away. I'll be right back. In 2 and 2. That's peace in, peace out.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pei's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at about the things that are wrong? Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. AM 1050, FM 106.5, NBC News Radio, NBC Sports, and CNBC News. I'm so happy you're here. I am Dr. Marissa, your host, who is your personal advocate to be happy 88% of the time. And it is Monday, Mental Health Matters Mondays, where we take a look at some ways in which we can be happier. So today's topic in particular is called mind games. What kind of games are you playing with yourself? And we talked earlier about why that is important as personal mastery, which is more important in my mind, in my BS, my belief system, than professional mastery, because you cannot enjoy, and it will not be enough to have fame, fortune, money, if you cannot love who you are and be happy with what you have. My definition of happiness is having what you want and wanting what you have. So I'm going to give you one of the foundation points on how to stop playing mind games. Of course, you have to recognize first that you're playing mind games. So you have to separate yourself from the voice in your head. So those of you who have read my book, and thank you so much. I went for the first time really to look at my Amazon reviews, and they are absolutely incredible and beautiful. So thank you for all of those who did the reviews. This is your Asian Oprah giveaway today. And this, my background stopping the reflection. But if you just Google 8 Ways to Happiness or Dr. Marissa or Asian Oprah, or go to asianoprah.online or drmarissa.life, what it will happen, and we'll do this right now so that you can see exactly what's going to happen when you go to my website. Let's see, we'll go to a new tab here, and we're going to search Dr. Marissa. Let's go to Asian Oprah Online, and there it is. I hope you can see the share. Let's check that. Yes, right there. And now that's going to be a pop-up that you just saw happen. And what you can do is scroll. Actually, yeah, let's scroll. And actually, it's on the right-hand side. So you just go ahead and type in your email. And when you do, I'm going to do this just to test that it works. And when you submit, I'm going to get an email that says, you are now part of my Happy 88 tribe. And when you do that, I will send you a promo code that will allow you to download the audiobook, 8 Ways to Happiness. And I actually talk in it. I narrate it for you. So, yeah, that's what you get for tuning in particular today. So I am going to give you one of the most important parts of working this muscle called balanced, centered, insert your name. So a lot of us identify ourselves with whatever's going through our mind, right? And I know I have clients who say, I can't sit still to meditate because I've got, just a barrage of thoughts that keep coming in. Every time I try to sit still and just not think, the more I think. And with however many, some people say 85,000 thoughts a day, 50,000, so whatever the thousands is, it's a lot of thoughts. And the worst part of that is the majority of them, some people say 70%, 80%, 85% of thoughts are negative. Thank you for the finger. Somebody just gave me the finger, not that one, but the thumbs up. Thank you. And feel free to play with me in the chat. I know that those negative thoughts sometimes are so strong that you actually believe what the voices, the negative thoughts are saying to you. And this is where personal mastery comes into play. If you are playing mind games, and the symptom of a mind game is you're believing that you are those thoughts. So for me, I had a thought that said, you're fat, you're ugly, you're clumsy, you're not good enough, you'll never be good enough, you're always going to have to catch up, you are as disadvantaged as your mother said you are, or whoever that primary role model was or is, that well-meaning, sometimes more mean than well person, and you somehow think that's who you are. So the first step in stopping the mind games is recognizing that that voice is not really who you are. It is a voice that was created, that was generated to actually protect you. So some people will say, take the critic and kill it. Or they'll say, kill that beach in your head because, it is a horrible voice and you need to completely cut it off and kill it. And it's my BS, my belief system, that voice is actually a developed voice in service of you. So for me, when I was told that by a well-meaning tiger mom on steroids, and it's called negative motivation. It's very common in a lot of Asian moms. They use negative, I don't want you to be fat and ugly, so I'm going to tell you you're fat and ugly. And they really do mean it in the most loving way. I know that's hard to believe, but it is true. Like, I am grateful that in the end of my mom's life 6 months ago, that I was able to really understand and accept that she did really love me, even when she said those things. That was the very best that she could do. And I really could embody that to the point where she was able to express and hug me first time in my entire life before she passed. So it is so important to acknowledge and recognize that that voice, as much as it's painful, is a part of you, but it is not you, number one. And two, that the flip side of criticism is protection. So I know that my internal critic, that voice that I name Rose, guess what my mom's name is? So I have an internal critic, and I am at peace with this critic. I don't like it all the time, but I recognize that the flip side of my critic is a protector. So that same critic that insults me is also the same critic that kept me from running across the street and getting flattened by a car, kept me from burnt hands, putting my hands on stove because I was curious about the red or the flame. So my first and foundation suggestion on how to stop playing mind games is to recognize the value of that critic. That's not the normal common way that people look at that inner voice. And so for me, when I fight something, it gets bigger. That's the law of attraction. So if I hate the critic's voice gets stronger. So if I can make peace and actually appreciate my critic, then I can begin to put it in the passenger seat so that it's not driving my life car. So that is the main advice, recommendation, shouldn't be giving advice on the air. Sorry, recommendation for this particular Mental Health Matters Mondays episode that I want you to just kind of mull over, just kind of sit with and see if you can't recognize, be aware, and then sort of kind of make friends with your internal critic. That's going to be the Happy 88 home play instead of homework this week. Is, can I acknowledge and be good and say, darling, and this is what I'd like you to do, is put your arm around your internal critic, whatever you're calling that person. I call mine Rose, and say, repeat after me, darling, I love you. I don't always like what you say. I recognize that you are protecting me and keeping me safe. It is negative motivation. You've been yelling at me about this, whatever it is, fat, ugly, clumsy, stupid, whatever those negative words are. You've been saying this for my entire life. I recognize that it's a way for you to help me in a weird way, but I got it. You don't have to do this anymore. I am balance centered, and then insert your name, Dr. Marissa, who I would like to drive our life car. You're tired, take a vacation, sit down. I got this. I'm driving my life car because, frankly, darling, you are driving us over a cliff because your constant criticism of me, telling me what I'm not good at, telling me that I need to do more is exhausting. I want you to take a break, sit down. I got this. And when you have this conversation with your internal critic, both appreciating, acknowledging it, it will be a little quieter. I think our internal critic, it gets really loud when we try to cover it up. Some people with affirmations in the mirror that they don't really believe. That's a way to get your internal critic louder, right? If you don't believe that you are attractive and you look in the mirror and you say, you're so beautiful, the inner critic's going to go, oh, please, are you looking at yourself? And so if you've been yelling at your internal critic and it's not working, you might want to try what I just said with that exercise. Have a seat. You got to be tired, and see if that works. All right. Hopefully that made sense to you. If it didn't, there's other Mental Health Matters Mondays, or you can contact me. You can always get a 15-minute call with me if you'd like to explore any part of my Happy 88 mission, whether it's with coaching or having me speak somewhere. I'm always open to that. All right. And you get all that information on my website. I am going to close out today, Mental Health Matters Mondays, with something that I discovered for the first time. I had an interview, a really great interview with someone. If you're a parent and you're, going back to school right now, and your kids are not happy about having to do homework or put their phone away or their games away, then this is absolutely an interview that you will want to hear. Tom Clayton is the Chief Operating Officer and President of Aura. He leads the company's go-to-market strategy as both a technology executive and a parent. He understands firsthand the challenges families face, from managing screen time to balancing back-to-school activities. His goal is to help families create healthier digital habits and with resources like Aura. So I hope you enjoy this interview that I did last week. I wanted to bring it to you because it certainly is great for mental health matters for parents, and certainly some happiness there. So please enjoy the interview.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. And I like to bring you balancing good news and some good ideas on this show. No headlines here. And as we're shifting right now from summer break to school schedules, one of the toughest adjustments is around kids' screen time. Joining us today is online safety expert Tom Clayton, here to share practical tips for parents as they reset their kids' digital routines for the new school year. Clayton is a father of 3 and Chief Operating Officer and President of Aura. Please welcome to the studio, Tom Clayton.
Thank you, Marissa, Dr. Marissa.
Always a pleasure to have you here with some great information. Maybe not the greatest information for the kids, but certainly for the parents. Why is back to school the right time for families to reset digital routines?
Yeah, so coming out of summer where there's just a lot more flexibility, less structure, later nights, more screen time, and getting into the school year where you need really to have a routine, and a routine that supports focus, rest, balance, really makes back to school season the perfect reset button for digital balance.
That's great. And what are some early signs that screen time is starting to get in the way of school sleep or focus?
Yeah, so obviously struggling with sleep is one sign. Not doing their homework or rushing through their homework, and really more irritability. So the more time kids spend on their phone, you tend to see a higher level of irritability. So we're really just trying to give parents those insights of the patterns early so that they can recognize them, and then make small healthy changes before they become bigger issues.
Yeah, I'm sure the irritability is heightened if you're interrupting them from their screen time, for sure. How can parents talk with their kids about screen time in a way that feels supportive instead of confrontational? As I call it, carefrontational.
Yes. So like I said, I have 3 daughters, and I learned pretty early on that, and one of them, the one I learned this with was Marissa, actually.
Oh.
And what I learned is, the heavy-handed approach just doesn't work. You need to come to them with open-ended questions. Ask them which apps make them feel more creative or more connected, which ones leave them feeling drained. And by bringing them into part of the conversation, it makes digital balance more of a shared goal, not a punishment or a restriction. It's really teaching them a new skill and building a routine for their futures. My youngest, she's 13, and so I've been through this journey a few times. I feel like I'm getting a little better with practice, but still learning. And she, the other day, a few months ago, said, "Dad, I want to start a digital detox day." And so every Sunday, she puts her phone down. She doesn't even watch TV, spends time with friends, goes outside, reads books. And I could see a mood difference immediately. And it was all on her own. I was very proud.
Yeah, well, heavy-handed doesn't work with any Marissa, just FYI. So let's see, 3 simple tips parents can try this week to make screen time feel more balanced at home. My favorite word.
Yeah, so coming off of summer, you want to start small and make gradual changes instead of making sudden cuts to screen time. You get there over a period of time. It's not going to happen overnight. You want to try to anchor it around routines that are natural transition periods, whether that's homework, dinner, bedtime. And then I think the most importantly is lead by example. Put your phone down more, engage with them more, ask them questions. All of our kids, whether we realize it or not, they look up to us. And if they see us using our phones less and engaging more, they will too.
Yeah, that hypocritical part of it is certainly something to think about for parents. Now, how does Aura help families stay digitally balanced?
Yeah, so we give families a set of tools that sort of fit into your everyday life and routine. We have the platform has all the table stakes features you would expect, like pausing the internet, setting downtime for sleep, daily limits on apps. But the big difference in the platform is there's a ton of great insight into what apps your kids are using and how long for each of them, but then also the positive or negative sentiment by app, or some apps, if they use them too long, turn to negative sentiment. Which ones are causing higher anxiety or more stress or sleep issues, and maybe they should be using them earlier in the day rather than later. So these insights really show you what usage habits are positive versus less than ideal, and you can work with your kids together to make them feel better. You know, the analogy I like to think of is you wouldn't give your kid a car without a seatbelt or driving lessons. And unfortunately, the phone's the same way. It's so connected, and there's a lot of things out there that could cause them harm. And so you need to teach them how to be good, healthy digital citizens.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you brought this to my world. I had no idea you existed. This is exactly my favorite kind of thing, learning about solution rather than just beaching about the problem of kids on phones. So where do we get more information about Aura?
Yeah, by the way, that's our biggest challenge is everyone knows the problem. No one knows the solution. So we're trying to educate as quickly as we can. If you go to aura.com, aura.com, we have all our tools there and you can learn more. Phone numbers there. We're available 24/7. So please feel free to reach out.
Definitely. Great resource. Aura.com, folks, aura.com. And I'm going to do something I've never done for my A1 clients because, for whatever reason, but because I really want to highlight this, I'm going to give you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award. So this is for you.
Oh.
That is awesome. Aura.com, folks. Here's some help, some support for you having a healthier, or your child having a healthier relationship with their phone. Thank you so much, Tom Clayton.
Thank you, Dr. Marissa.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And I hope you enjoyed that interview. I was really happy to find out that parents do have a resource in aura.com, aura.com. That's why I gave him the Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award, because it is so important for parents to have options rather than just, I'm taking your phone away or threatening or whatever. I loved his tips around the different kinds of questions you can talk to your kid about, because like it or not, technology is part of our lives. And if we focus on the good parts of it, that's better. I know I tell parents all the time, and it's like, well, that is the way that kids connect these days. You can hate it, or you can just accept it, but look for creative ways in which to engage with them, with that device, because we're also guilty of that. You know, I hear a lot of complaints about people not talking to each other, sitting in a restaurant, both looking at their phones. And yes, that is, you know, for dinner parties and stuff. I have a little tip for you for those who gather in larger groups with friends, or actually, it even works with your one friend. If you put your phone in the middle of the table and you put it face up, you don't turn it off, and the first person to grab their phone picks up the meal. That might be more incentive to be present with everybody and be one with your food and be one with each other. So that is my advice in that case. Now we are going to also get a great interview from an optometrist, eye doctor, because coming with fall and back to school also is coming with things like dry eye and irritated eyes. And so I wanted to bring you that interview as well. So let's see if we can't do this easily. And I'll share this with you as well.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome back. Autumn may bring crisp air and colorful foliage, but it can also create challenges for eye health due to dry indoor heat, ragweed, allergens, and increased screen time. Joining us today is optometrist Dr. Elise Kramer, who is teaming up with TheraTears to share timely tips for dry eye sufferers. Dr. Kramer specializes in ocular surface disease and specialty contact lens design and has lectured worldwide on eye health. Please welcome to my studio, Dr. Elise Kramer. Welcome to you this morning.
Hi, how are you?
I am happy and grateful. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me this morning.
Absolutely. So, why is it important to address eye care during the fall season?
So, eye health really connects directly to our overall well-being. And exactly what you said, the fall is beautiful. We all love it, but it does create challenges for dry eye sufferers. And, we have that dehydrated air from heating systems, that ragweed, allergies, and also the increased screen time, right? We cannot get away from our screens, and that all can trigger irritation, dryness, fatigue. And that's why I've partnered with TheraTears to really remind everyone that caring for dry eyes isn't just about comfort, it's really about finding solutions for long-lasting relief.
Yes, very important. It's a science. What makes that phrase key for eye care?
So it's a science captures how TheraTears is more than just soothing drops. It delivers all 5 critical electrolytes in a science-backed formula that mirrors your natural tears. So TheraTears has 5 vital electrolytes that we find in our natural tears, like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and bicarbonate. That balance supports hydration that lasts, and that can really make a difference for people, even when seasonal dryness could be really bad.
Now, I'm one of these sufferers. How can dry eye sufferers find real relief?
So I think most people don't understand that electrolytes are the unsung heroes of your natural tears. Think of your tear film as like a delicate ecosystem. So when it's out of balance and your eyes lose water, then you can feel the burn. And TheraTears is really the only over-the-counter eye drop with those 5 vital electrolytes, and the formula restores moisture and balance of the ocular surface. So it doesn't just cover up symptoms like a band-aid, it really replenishes what eyes are missing. So for people struggling through that dry fall air, that can really make a difference between eyes that are comfortable and completely like painful, burning, itching, uncomfortable.
Yes, I know that very well. Well, and what other solutions are available for eye care needs?
Yeah, so everyone's different and every eye is different and TheraTears really addresses that with different options like preservative-free drops, there's gel formulations for overnight relief, products for every day, all day, and that range really allows people to choose what works best for their lifestyle. So whether they're working, they're outdoors, they're going out, nighttime, and also, don't wait until discomfort becomes a really big issue. I think addressing it at the earliest sign that something's off. And there's also simple steps that you can do at home or at your office, like adjusting your indoor humidity, obviously staying hydrated, super important to drink water, and blinking our eyes frequently. Especially if you're on a screen, taking breaks sometimes from screen use. And for persistent dryness, options like TheraTears can really make a difference. So I think it's important we prioritize our eye health now, and that could really make better comfort, better comfort and protection throughout the entire fall season.
Yeah. I actually had LASIK done. And so dry eye is one of the symptoms, later on. I did 25 years of perfect eye, I could see, but now the dry eye, is there a product to help that as well?
So it's really, like I said, every eye is so different, and it's important to just find what works for you. And TheraTears has a huge range of different products that are all science-backed formulations for various eye care needs. And like I said earlier, there's different products that you can use every day, all day. And so, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So I see here you got your doctorate in Montreal. So I was born in Canada. So
No way.
Yeah, fellow Canadians. I'm went to school there. I'm assuming you're born in Canada too.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Oh,
exactly.
Well, where can we go for more of this really great information for your eye care?
Yeah, so there's a lot of information, resources you can find on theratears.com about the formulations, about the science-backed formulations and dry eye in general. So that's THERA tears.com. THERA. Yeah.
Okay. .com. That's fabulous. Thank you so much for being in studio with me today as we approach season 4 extended eye care or important eye care. Thank you so much, fellow Canadiens.
Merci. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Je vous en prie. Have the best day ever. Thank you. All right, that was. Oh, I pressed the wrong button here. I hope you enjoyed those two great information interviews in addition to Mental Health Matters Mondays, Mind Games episode. It's always great coming to you from the beach. I hope you have the best day ever. It's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. I'll see you tomorrow.